guys! So today I'm going to be doing a video kind of going off of all the other videos I made about GCU, and I wanted to kind of talk about like how to know which college you're supposed to go to, and yeah. So I know choosing the right college is really hard. It's hard to decide which college is right for you. It's hard to decide where you want to go, and that can be super difficult. So I wanted to put together kind of a list of things that I did. It's going to be a practical list of things to do, but also a not so practical way to do it as well, because both are really important. So first off, I'm going to start with the practical list of things to do. So I'm sure that you've heard this 1,000 times, but make a pro-cons list. Put down the, let's say narrow it down to 2 schools that you like, and then put them down in 2 columns, and then do pros and cons of each and see which are more important to you. Because there's going to be certain things in different schools that you really like in both schools, but you want to choose the school that has the thing that's most important to you. So when I was choosing to go to college, I had to pick between Chapman University, which was very well known, and it was a film school, which was what I wanted to do, so I wanted to be in their film program, and then between that and Grand Canyon University. I had a lot of different schools, but those were the 2 that I really kind of like was focused on. I didn't want to go to GCU. Like, to be completely honest, GCU wasn't really an option for me ever. I had never heard of it. It was a no-name school to me. I just thought it was for old people who were going back to school and wanted to do online. So it was really hard for me to choose, like, this is the school I want to go to. But I definitely made a pro-cons list. I loved that GCU had the Christian Foundation, and then I loved that Chapman had the film school. And so I didn't know which one to go to. A big thing for me was I didn't get into that film acting program, which I wasn't surprised about at all, because I mean, it's really hard to get into. That kind of deterred me a little bit, because that was the main reason I'd be going to that school, was for that program, and you weren't able to apply again unless you transferred and started over from freshman year. So that was a big thing for me. I was like, okay, well, the main reason I want to go there, I'm not in that program. So do I want to be a business major? Is that a good idea for me? So another thing that I did was talk to my friends and get their input. I know that it's obviously solely based on you, but talking to friends and family, looking at the financial aspect of both schools. Am I going to be able to afford this school? Will my parents fully pay for it? If not, then I'm going to have to pay a portion of it. Do I really want loans for that many years? Do I want to pay off that amount? So Chapman University was so expensive. Even with financial aid and everything, it was going to be like, I can't remember, I think it was like $30,000. It might have been more, it might have been less. I can't remember. I have to look up what the school itself is, because I'm not 100% sure. The school itself is $52,000 a year. So that's pretty expensive. And then my parents were only willing to pay a certain amount towards it, so I would have a lot of money in loans afterwards. And so for me, my like backup career that I want to do is wedding planning, because I love looking at Pinterest weddings, I love weddings, everything about that. And so from a practical standpoint, being a wedding planner isn't going to make me that much money. The top wedding planners can make a decent amount, but the average wedding planner makes about $40,000 a year. So that's not a lot of money, especially with that amount of debt. Especially starting out, I'm not going to even make close to that amount. Did I want to have that education for that cost? Was that worth it? That's something you have to look at. And talk to your family and really think about practically. So some things you want to include on your list is price, like I just said. You want to think about morals, kind of like what their standpoint is on different things. Do you want to go to a school that maybe isn't like the beliefs that you have, such as religious affiliation? Do you care about that? Do you not care about that? Another thing is location. Are you really okay with being that far away from home? For me, I couldn't really go far out of state. I could go to Arizona, but I couldn't go farther because my parents weren't able to afford plane tickets home for me. So I would have to pay for all of my plane tickets if I wanted to go back and forth. So they said, we'll pay for Christmas, but all the other breaks you're going to have to pay for. And for me, that wasn't going to happen. I couldn't afford to pay for every flight, and I wanted to come home more than once a year. So that's definitely very important to think about. So I needed to go to a school that I could drive to and from. Both schools, Chapman and GCU, were close to California, so it wasn't a big deal to me. So that really plays a big role in it. Am I going to be able to be that far away from my family, or will I be too homesick? Everyone's going to get homesick their first year. It happens. Everyone gets homesick no matter how much you love your school. But there's still like a big aspect of that you need to keep in mind. Like, will I be homesick because of location change, weather change, all of those different things that you don't really think about. So price, location, values, and then another thing is major. Does this fit my major? Is this what I want to do? Does it match? That sort of thing. And then maybe just like the atmosphere of the campus. That's not really as much of a practical thing, like I was saying before. There's practical and non-practical, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word I should be using, but do I like the people on this campus? Do I feel at home on this campus? So yeah, that's important. Sororities. Do they have sororities or fraternities, if that's important to you or not important to you? But yeah, there's a lot of things to keep in mind and to put on that list and really think about, like, what is important to me. Pick like 2 things that you really need at a school, or 1 thing, and what's most important. So then on the other side of things, there's the not so practical aspects, and that would include the feeling you get when you walk on the campus. Where is your heart leaning you towards, and where is your body leading you towards? It's so much more important than you think it is. Like I said at the beginning, I did not want to go to GCU at all. Like, I didn't think it was a real school. I had no interest in being in Arizona in the desert. But I just kept getting this feeling every single time. My mom kept saying, you should look at GCU. You should look at GCU. I really think you'd like GCU. And I was like, I'll look for you, but I just like don't care about GCU. Like all the people at my high school, I went to a really, really well-known high school, and it's very high in academics. So my school is top in the nation. So everyone from my high school went to Ivy Leagues, schools that are harder to get into than GCU. So it really pressured me a lot of times to go to that name school, and Chapman was that for me. A lot of kids went to Chapman. So it was hard to choose to go to a different school than everyone else. I don't think maybe 1 or 2 people in the history of my school had ever gone to GCU. I might have been the first, honestly. I was definitely the only person in my grade of like 700 people. It was really hard for me to go to a school that no one knew about. But I just kept feeling this feeling in my spirit that like, this is where you should go. This is where you should go. I kept feeling pushed there, and I knew that God told me at one point, like, your husband's going to be at GCU, so if you don't go, you'll meet him elsewhere, but this is your direct path that I'm telling you to go down, and you will meet him sooner. And my mom had come up to me and said the same thing. She'd said, I really think that your husband's at GCU, which was so weird. And so that was something pushing me. I didn't want to miss out on that opportunity. I just really felt like pushed to go there, even though I really had no interest in going there whatsoever. And then I finally decided, like, you know what? I'm just so annoyed with thinking about where to go. I'm just going to choose. I was like, give me signs, God, give me signs. And I kept seeing bumper stickers of GCU. And I was like, yeah, but I don't want to go there. Like, I keep seeing all this stuff, but I really don't want to go to GCU. And I really wanted, like, that college experience, and I thought I wasn't going to get it, even though I totally do. I totally got everything that I wanted to get out of it. I felt pushed, and I finally just committed. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go. I can't afford Chapman. It's not worth it for my career. Like, I really just need a business degree. Like, I don't even need a degree if I want to be a wedding planner. Like, I don't even need a degree, so why am I going to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to go to a school when I don't technically need a degree? but I still want that college experience and I want the education. GCU had a great program for me. It has a hospitality program, so that perfectly lines up with wedding planning. It's part of the hospitality industry. So it was really a perfect fit for me, whereas at Chapman I would have been doing communications, and I felt a sense of peace when I chose that school. I was just like, oh, finally, it's over with. I've chosen, and I'll like it, and if not, then I can transfer. Always remember that you have that option. You don't have to love your school. It's a place where you go and get a degree, and you can always transfer in 2 years or 1 year. If you don't like it, just go back home. I don't recommend it. I recommend sticking it out and trying to make sure that you don't like the school. But you always have that option, and you have to remember that. So yeah, I hope that this was kind of helpful in deciding what school to go to. From a Christian standpoint, I definitely would say ask God, pray about it a lot, and ask for clear signs. You may be being pushed to a place that you don't want to go and feel that feeling in your spirit like, ugh, I should go here even though I really don't want to. You may feel that feeling and be like, no, I don't think that's it because I don't want to go there. So I don't think that's what God's telling me to do. But if you keep going back in your head and wrestling with it, then that's the right decision. Yeah. Usually it's the one that you don't want and the hard decision, the one that you're wrestling with, that's the right decision. And I'm so happy with my decision. I met the love of my life, and I love my decision. I love my job at my school. I love my friends and my roommates. I love the education I'm getting, my classes, my teachers are so kind. I love them all. I love the fact that it's a Christian school, that I'm able to get that Christian education as well by minoring in Christian studies. Oh, I just love so many things. I love the fact that it has every aspect of a college experience still that you can touch into if you want. You can go, let's say you're missing the sorority or fraternity, you can go to ASU, you can participate in those sorority and fraternity things. I had a friend who is dating a guy at ASU and she went to like their date dash. Also, you can start one. Like, that's another thing at GCU. Totally, if you really want a fraternity or sorority, start one. I know girls who have done it, they haven't made it official, but if you want, freshman year, start one. I'm telling you. As long as you start at freshman year, you'll be able to create one. If you start later, then it might be a little bit harder because you won't get to experience it. I thought about starting one this year, but I was like, I won't even be able to experience it by the time that it's fully like a thing. Yeah, just lean into that, lean into those feelings, and that's how you'll decide. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video and you learned a lot from it. Please like and subscribe if you like my videos and want to see more from me, more advice. That's kind of what I do, a lot of advice and lifestyle, things like that. So yeah, I love you all so much. Thank you for watching.